Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome to the intuitive card reading for the week of March 2nd through 8th. I almost forgot, but it is March 2nd through 8th. Please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel. Please share this video with anybody that needs to hear the energies and the influences of the week. Comments down below. Same 3 decks as I've been using in the previous readings. Nothing that you guys are not familiar with. All shuffled, all different order. And I think that's it. Let's go, guys. I'm trying to make these videos shorter. I don't want them to be 30 minutes. I'm trying to, my goal is under 25 minutes. So, all right, let's dive right in. All right, nature, child, and the light, friendships with the animals, communication with nature. So that's what we need. Okay, we need to be with our animals. We need to be with our pets. We need to get out in nature. That makes sense to me. I mean, I'm on the East Coast, Northeast, to be more specific. And we got a lot of snow this winter. So if you can get out into nature, get out into nature. It'll be really good for you. Or spend time with pets. Maybe your pet needs extra attention this week. Either one will do. Or maybe your plants. Shout out to all the plant parents out there. Maybe spend time with your plants. Speaking of plants, sage purification, so action needed. All right, so it's asking us to purify things, to purification. So make things pure again. The thing that I think of here all the time is cleanse. Maybe your body needs a good cleanse, so maybe you need to maybe do a new diet this week, or maybe do some kind of, again, juice cleanse or healthy eating thing, or maybe you need to take a week off of smoking or drinking or something like that. I always think of like purify the body. Maybe you need, maybe a full body massage could be part of this too. Just purifying everything. So kind of get all the junk out, basically. Yeah, not too much more I could say here. I don't know how it would apply to other things, but I really do feel like it's talking about us. Maybe soulfully, maybe on a spiritual level. This is asking us to purify ourselves. So if you're religious, maybe it's a good week to go to confession. I don't know. I'm not religious, guys. So, but it's saying take action needed. So we need to do something, right? We need to basically it's saying get back to basics. Or start on a clean slate. That's what it's basically saying. So anything that you can do that with, how that applies, it's going to be different for everybody, but how that applies to you, yeah, I can't think of any more examples there. All right, issues, at least not on the spot. Okay, thinker. All right, so we have issues thinking. So what does this mean? I'm having issues thinking now. I was going to say my whole brain injury has given me issues thinking. So, all right, so this could just be issues with logically thinking. So maybe we're not critically thinking enough, or maybe we're not thinking of things in a logical way. Maybe we're reacting too much with emotion. Could be saying we have the opposite thing. So we might be so we're having an issue thinking things through. So we might be impulsive. We might be reactive. We might be, doing things too quickly, rushing through something. And those are all gonna, if we decide to do any of those things this week, we're going to hit obstacles and hit walls. So if you try to rush through anything, if you're reacting to anything, it's just not good. Take the time to think, okay? Because anything other than actually thinking through something, it's going to bring issues. So yeah, just really, if you need, if somebody asks you for something and there's maybe a big decision, do not make it right away. It is okay to say, can I have a second to process this? Okay, that's okay to say. So, maybe you get a job offer and you're just not sure about it. Okay, don't be impulsive. Maybe you've been unemployed for a long time and you want to be, you're like, oh, I'll take the first job. That kind of thing, without reading through it or reading through the contract or whatever. So definitely think about it. Okay, take the time to think about it, because if you don't, again, if you're reactive or impulsive, you're going to have issues. What's challenging, guys? Guide, ever in the light, represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. Okay, so being a guide, a guiding light is a good way to put this. So we're having challenges doing that. So we're not able to, so basically we're having a challenging time guiding people. All right, so we're like a lousy guide. Okay, we're a lousy leader, which is interesting because I think we got a lot of I can't remember, but in the last few weeks we got a lot of getting ready for leadership cards, like that kind of thing. But this is basically saying that, yeah, we're really sucking at it. Basically this week, we're not one to guide other people. We're not one to be a good guide. So we're having issues, we're having challenges with that. If you're like training somebody at work and you're supposed to guide them through the day to day, you might be fumbling. You might have challenges with it. You might, feel like you're not explaining yourself correctly, or you're not as present, or something like that. Some kind of challenge comes up there, but you're not being such a great guide. It's okay. Whatever circumstances are happening in your life, it's all right. But you are not necessarily able to be that guiding light for somebody this week, and that's okay. Okay, it doesn't make you look a bad person or anything. All right, change. Desert, thirst. Okay, so we're thirsty for something. We're almost desperate for something. We're hungry for something. We ache for something. Okay, so that's changing. So a desire, I would say. Like what's changing for us is that we're starting to become. And by the way, I don't see desperate as like a negative thing. I mean, it's just like everything else, has like a positive, a light or a shadow to it. And to me, this is saying like it's like in the light way, where it's basically saying like if you're desperate for something to happen and you're going all for it, that's like a positive thing. Desperation could be positive. So it's basically saying like we really want something. We really, really want something, and that's changing because maybe we didn't want it before, or didn't think that we wanted it, or we're even in a place where we can think about our desires and what we actually want, and that is changing. So much so that it's like we need it, we need it to survive almost. We're hungry for something, we're thirsty for something, and to me I think that's like a positive thing. It almost represents like more passion coming through, or more, again, I said it already, maybe we weren't sure if we wanted something, and now it changes that we really do want something, right? Maybe you've been thinking about kids and you've been kind of wishy-washy about kids. Now all of a sudden you have baby fever and it kind of came out of nowhere, and this week it comes to its peak and you're like, yes, I want this so badly. Okay, this is something I really truly want. I could taste it. I could, that kind of thing. So I like that. It's like a fire burning within you. So I like it. I think it feels like a positive thing. All right, what to focus on? Flexible. Okay, so the priority and the focus for this week is be flexible, be adaptable. So maybe some things can kind of go awry. So just be on your toes. So not much I can say there. What do we need to reflect on? Liberator, freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. Okay, reflecting on how you can feel more free in your life. I love this. How you can liberate yourself. What would make you feel more free? What does freedom mean to you? Those are all good journal prompts, but it's in the light, and so it's basically saying that it's coming, but definitely reflecting on all of those things. What makes you feel most free in your life? Maybe another good journal question there is, how are we keeping, maybe how are we being our own jailer, right? How are we keeping ourselves from being free? So do some shadow work there as well. All right, responsibilities is voice. So it's your responsibility to use your voice. It is your responsibility to say the thing that you want to say. It is your responsibility to self-express, speak up when you feel like things aren't right, speak up for your needs, speak up for your boundaries, speak up for your wants, speak up, use your voice. I don't know if there's any like special elections or anything near anybody, but this could be like use your voice to vote or endorse a candidate or something along those lines, or go to a city council meeting by you and use your voice to explain that you don't that you want the garbages picked up more often during the week than they actually are. You have a voice, and you need to use it. This includes being in relationships. Maybe you haven't spoken up in relationships because you're afraid to hurt somebody's feelings or something like that. Doesn't matter. Use your voice. It's very clear here. It's your responsibility to do so. Money, finances, and career. Building blocks. Yay! Okay, we have a good one for this. All right, so this is basically saying that we're building something. This is really, 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 this is a good week for entrepreneurs. It is a magnificent card to get in this spot for money, finances, and career for entrepreneurs. So I would say a big money week for entrepreneurs or people doing their own work, like freelance work. You guys are going to have a really fantastic, financially prosperous week. If you're thinking about building something on your own, this is also going to be fabulous for you. Maybe you find the contractor this week. Maybe you find the attorneys you need for this week to start a business and start all the legal stuff going with it. If you're if you're working for somebody else, maybe this could mean even just like a promotion because you're going up in the ranks. So you're building those blocks. This could be also like setting a foundation for where you want to go, how you want to move up in your job, something along those lines. But I mean, it's a positive card all around, but most definitely very prosperous for those that are entrepreneurs or freelancers or things like that. Especially those that are just starting out, I would say. This could also be building the foundation of like maybe a retirement income or something like that. Like maybe you actually are opening like a 401k and that's like your foundation for your retirement. So yeah, there's definitely building blocks is a wonderful, wonderful card to get for this slot here. I like it. Not I like it, I love it. All right, gossip in the shadow thrives in the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. Okay, this is gossip in the not so great way in the shadow, where we usually think of gossip as, all right. We went from really good card, really good slot to really not so great card in a not so great spot. So basically it's saying you're going to be surprised at the negative gossip you hear about yourself or about someone else. So a surprise secret, somebody surprisingly betraying your confidences. I'm not going to lie, guys, if you haven't seen the monthly already, we've got some hints in that reading about betrayal from somebody close to us. Okay, this doesn't feel as bad. This could just be like somebody telling your secrets, which, not to minimize it, that's also awful. Yeah, not great. And in a more global level, this could maybe be on a more positive way because, or I don't know, depends on how you look at it, right? Is somebody's secrets get revealed. You hear some kind of, on a global level, on a collective level, we hear about some kind of gossip. Some kind of secret gets revealed, and it's a surprise, We've had a lot of those, I would say, in the last 6 months or so. Government secrets, I would say, or gross things that the billionaires of the world are doing, if you know where I'm going with that. I don't know what I can say on YouTube or what I can't say, but yeah, so there's that. Friends. Yeah, that's an interesting one, is all I'm going to say there. All right, friends, what do we got? We've got listening. Okay, so this is good for friends and family, community. So being an active listener, people listening to you, reciprocal energy, definitely I'm feeling here. So if you need somebody to hear you out or you need to feel heard, your friends got you this week. So that's what friends are for, right? And family, I would say too. All right, romantic connection. We have serendipity. Okay, so something feels serendipitous. Something feels synchronistic. So I love that. If you also watch the monthly, if you haven't already, go ahead and watch it. But basically, it is basically asking us to be more in flow. This is a card of flow. It's in the romantic connection, so things just feel like they're coming together in our love life. Things just feel like they're synchronistic in our love life. That is great. That is really, really great. So things are kind of coming together in that way. So if you feel like things have kind of been all over the place in your love life, this feels like things are, this is the week that things start coming together. And honestly, it could be things that are meant to be. Okay, so I know it's not the Fates card, but usually when things are in flow, it means they're in alignment and they're meant to be there, So I like that there. What a great romance card we got going on there. All right, we have wounded child, and the important awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. Okay. Okay, so this is childhood stuff, but it's in the light, so it's basically saying we're having like a better outlook on our childhood stuff. So it's important that not that we have like a better outlook, but we have more compassion, possibly. It's under important, so it's saying it's important to have compassion. It might also be not just like for us, but it's important for us to have compassion for, maybe somebody hurt us. Excuse me, guys. Let me drink some water really quick. I'm losing my voice. I haven't been feeling well at all. Oh, excuse me. Okay, I think I can finish this. So this might be having compassion for somebody that has maybe hurt you, and you know why they hurt you because they had like a bad childhood. It's not an excuse. This is not asking us to make excuses, but this is just, asking us to, if we can, if you feel it in your heart to do so, have more compassion and empathy for maybe those that have hurt us, or, again, this shouldn't be forced. Use your intuition, you guys know, but maybe being more compassionate about maybe things we did because of our childhood. Maybe we became addicted to something from our, because we didn't have such a great childhood. We need to forgive ourselves about that. We need to have more compassion about, to ourselves about that. So it's important. It's basically coming in saying like, this is important for the week. Have compassion for yourself. And possibly other people as well. Health and wellness. We have wilderness, untamed. Ooh, so wild energy going on here. So basically it's saying like we cannot be tamed. We are out in the wild. It's a good card, but it's not the greatest card to get under health and wellness because it's basically saying like we can't stick to a routine or schedule. So, this makes sense for the flexible card being here. So maybe this week we're supposed to be inflexible. So if you have any rigid schedules this week, I would say it's probably not a go. So it definitely feels all over the place. Maybe you have like a strict working out schedule that you follow week by week by week, but this week you kind of go rogue, and you kind of go all over the place, and it's not your usual. It's not a negative thing. It's just like it's not the usual, and it's kind of all over the place, and it's a little chaotic, like in a good way, I would say. It's not a good week for rigidity. Okay, so if we go off our diets a little bit, if we go off our workout schedule, if we don't attend, if we're on a mental health journey and we can't necessarily make our appointments, with our therapist or something, or it's we're just a little bit wild. A little bit like wild animals kind of going off the deep end there. Not a great placement for trying to, let's just be, I'll be like very straightforward with you guys. If you're trying to start some kind of new routine in health and wellness this week, this is not the week to do it. So again, use your intuition with it, but that's what Spirit is saying here. Overall outcome. Chaos and conflict. Okay, so I just mentioned a little chaos here in a positive way. So it could possibly be that as well. But overall outcome, I don't love it for here. So there's a lot of chaotic energy, a lot of conflict. So coming into the weekend, this could be conflicts of schedule, conflict of interest, conflicts with friends, family. It just can kind of be all over the place and a little chaotic. So I would also say this is more energy to support that if you're really trying to get in a routine. Maybe you think by the weekend it'll be better. I'm telling you, it's not going to be better by the weekend. You might as well just call this first week like a, this week like a wash. Like it's a little too wild, the energy. So things just might be all over the place. Hectic schedule, hectic things going on. Do the best you can with it. Now I understand this card up here, the thinker with the issue, where we might have to like react very quickly or do things, a little bit more spontaneously, or not have time to think things out, but do the best you can and try to think things out, try to take a second to process and make the right decision, that kind of thing. Because things might be a little chaotic, is basically what Spirit is trying to say. So, yeah, guys, I like this week. Anything that I would consider a red flag? Yeah, I don't love the gossip in the shadow. Hearing a piece of gossip about yourself, about somebody else. Somebody could betray your confidences in that way. Yeah, so that's not great. But everything else I feel like is pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. So my wild souls. Have a very, very, very good week. It's interesting. We have the conflict card, the wilderness, the liberator. So take that as you will, guys. We might be a little bit untamed this week, a little bit chaotic, a little bit free, a little bit all over the place. And honestly, like, I don't even see that as a negative thing. It's just different. So just prepare for that is all I'm saying. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful week. See you in the next one. Bye.